Hey everyone. Welcome back to the channel Top Coins. If you're passionate about numismatics, history, or just love learning about unique coins, then you're in for a treat today. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the fascinating history, market value, and the big worth of the 50 centavos coin from 1928. If you've ever wondered what makes this coin so special, or if you're looking to learn more about its history, you've come to the right place. Before we start, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with all our future videos. Now, let's get into the history and the potential value of the 50 centavos of 1928. First, let's take a look at the 50 centavos coin from 1928. This coin is part of the coinage system of the Philippines during the early 20th century, a time of great political and economic changes. At this point, the Philippines was a territory of the United States, and the design and structure of its coinage reflected a blend of American and Filipino influences. The Philippines was under American colonial rule from 1898 to 1946. During this period, the U.S. introduced its own currency system, and the Philippine government adopted coins and bills that resembled American ones. The coin we're talking about today, the 50 centavos from 1928, is an example of this fascinating period in history. In 1928, the U.S. Philippine Commission had already established a system where coins were minted in the U.S. and transported to the Philippines. The 50 centavos coin, specifically, was part of a larger set of coins that included the 1 centavo, 5 centavos, 10 centavos, 25 centavos, and 1 peso coins. But what makes the 50 centavos coin so unique? On the obverse side of the coin, we see the inscription United States of America along with the date 1928 and a representation of a Filipino woman holding a sword and a shield, symbolizing the strength and resolve of the nation. Above her, you'll notice the word liberty etched in bold letters. This was a common motif used on U.S. coins during that era. On the reverse side, there is the inscription 50 centavos along with the national coat of arms of the Philippines, featuring a golden sun, stars, and a shield with the letters P and F, which stand for Philippine Islands. This design was meant to highlight the Philippines' identity, despite its status as an American colony. Now, let's talk about the mintage and rarity of the 50 centavos from 1928. When this coin was produced, the United States Mint in Philadelphia struck over 1 million pieces. While this might sound like a lot, in the world of numismatics, it's important to note that not all of these coins survived the decades, especially since many were in circulation at the time. The year 1928 itself is significant because it was the start of the Great Depression, which affected economies worldwide. In the Philippines, like in many other places, the financial instability meant that many coins were melted down for their metal content, lost, or simply spent in everyday transactions. As a result, finding a 50 centavos coin from 1928 in mint condition today is relatively rare. Coins that are in high-grade condition, such as those with very little wear and sharp details, are especially valuable among collectors. If you happen to find a well-preserved 1928 coin, it could be worth far more than its face value now. Let's talk about the current market value of the 50 centavos coin from 1928. If you're considering purchasing one or selling one, you might be wondering how much it's worth. The market value of a 50 centavos coin can vary significantly depending on its condition, rarity, and demand. A coin in mint state, or MS-65, could fetch anywhere from $150 to $300 or more, depending on the specific market at the time. Coins in lower grades, such as those with significant wear and tear, might only be worth around $10 to $20. However, there are exceptions. If the coin has a rare characteristic, such as a minting error or a unique flaw, it could be worth much more. There have been instances in recent years where high-grade 50 centavos coins from 1928 have been auctioned for thousands of dollars. In fact, some of the best preserved specimens, particularly those with historical significance or rare characteristics, can easily reach the upper hundreds, or even thousands, depending on the collector's market at that time. But it's not all about money. Coins like the 50 centavos from 1928 hold immense historical and cultural value. They serve as a window into the past, providing insight into the economic, political, and social climate of the time. This particular coin, minted in the Philippines during American rule, tells the story of a colonial era and the transformation of the Filipino nation. The design of the coin itself depicting a strong, liberated woman was meant to reflect the evolving identity of the Philippines as it moved through different stages of its history, leading to eventual independence in 1946. If you're lucky enough to have a 50 centavos coin from 1928, how do you know if it's worth a lot? The first step is to properly identify and grade the coin. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A coin's grade is determined by several factors, including its wear, clarity, and overall condition. To get a better idea of your coin's grade, you might want to use a magnifying glass or a loupe to inspect the fine details of the coin. Look for signs of wear. On the 50 centavos coin, check the details on the woman's figure, the lettering, and the coat of arms. If these elements are sharp and clear, your coin is in a higher grade. Also, pay attention to any scratches, tarnishing, or discoloration, as these can lower the value. If you're interested in buying or selling a 50 centavos coin, there are a few options to consider. Online marketplaces like eBay, specialized numismatic websites, and coin dealers are all excellent places to find or sell coins. Auctions can also be a great way to get a high price for rare coins, especially if you're selling a particularly well-preserved 1928 specimen. Before you buy or sell, always make sure to check the seller's reviews and ratings, and if you're selling, have your coin appraised by a professional to get the best value. So there you have it, the history, the rarity, and the current market value of the 50 centavos coin from 1928. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, this coin is a fascinating piece of history that can also hold significant value today. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in the world of numismatics, the 4 macutas from 1784. A coin with rich history, incredible rarity, and a market value that might just surprise you. Whether you are a passionate collector, a history enthusiast, or just someone interested in learning more about coins, this video is for you. Today, we're talking about a coin that not only carries immense historical significance but also boasts a hefty price tag for those lucky enough to own one. The 4 macutas of 1784. This coin comes from a time when empires were shifting, the world was on the brink of massive change, and coinage was more than just money, it was a symbol of power and sovereignty. To understand the 4 macutas, we first need to go back to the late 18th century, during the reign of Portugal's King João Leão, who was the King of Portugal and the Algarves as well as the Emperor of Brazil. The coin was minted during a time when the Portuguese Empire was flourishing, but facing its own challenges, both domestically and abroad. Portugal's colonies were vast, stretching across continents. The kingdom controlled parts of South America, Africa, and Asia, and their currency was essential in trade and governance. The macuta coin was part of a broader effort to standardize coinage across these territories. Most importantly, the 4 macutas coin was primarily used in the Portuguese colony of Mozambique in Africa. It was part of the Mozambique macuta currency system, which was used as the main currency in the colony. This coin was not only a means of exchange but also an emblem of Portuguese imperial power. The macuta currency system was divided into several denominations, and the 4 macutas was one of the larger units. While the smaller macutas coins were used in day-to-day transactions, the 4 macutas was a more substantial coin, typically used in higher value exchanges, such as trade and tax payments. At that time, Mozambique was an important hub for the Portuguese Empire, particularly for the transatlantic slave trade, which made it a crucial point in the empire's wealth. The 4 macutas coin was used in these exchanges, but it wasn't just a tool of the empire. It was also a symbol of control over the African region, representing Portuguese dominance in the Indian Ocean trade routes. But what makes the 4 macutas coin so interesting, and why has it gained so much attention in the modern world of numismatics? Let's take a closer look at its design, the materials it was made from, and how its production reflects the period's coinage system. The 4 macutas coin was minted in 1784, and its design reflects both the historical and cultural values of the time. The front of the coin features the classic representation of the Portuguese coat of arms. This iconic symbol, with its shield and castles, is flanked by 2 distinct crown shields, showing the Portuguese royal authority over its colonies. On the reverse side of the coin, you can find the denomination 4 macutas inscribed. This inscription was a clear indicator of the coin's value and reinforced its place in the colonial currency system. The coin's value was largely tied to the weight and size of the metal it was made from, primarily silver. The silver content of the 4 macutas coin was substantial, contributing to its high value both at the time and in the present day. While the exact weight of the coin can vary, most versions weigh around 27.5 grams and contain around 90% silver. In today's market, the metal alone gives the coin a certain intrinsic value. As you can see, the craftsmanship of the coin is detailed and intricate. It reflects the advanced minting technology of the time. These coins weren't just mass-produced for utility, they were meticulously crafted to represent the power of the Portuguese crown. Fast forward to the present day, and the 4 Macutas coin is not just a historical artifact, it's also a highly sought-after collector's item. But how much is it worth? When it comes to determining the market value of a coin like this, there are several factors at play. The coin's rarity, condition, historical significance, and the current state of the numismatic market all contribute to its price. First, rarity. The 4 Macutas coin is quite rare, especially in good condition. Most of the surviving coins are in poor shape due to their extensive circulation during the colonial era. Coins that are well preserved or even uncirculated are considered very valuable. In fact, a well-preserved 4 Macutas coin can fetch anywhere between $500 to $2,000 in the current market. But here's where it gets really interesting. If the coin is in exceptional condition, or if it has an interesting provenance, the price can skyrocket. For instance, at some of the top auction houses, rare examples of this coin have sold for over $10,000. And in some cases, a coin that was once part of a famous collection or had historical significance could push its market value even higher. So, while the average 4 Macutas might sell for a few $1,000s, the truly special ones can fetch a life-changing amount. But what makes these coins so valuable isn't just their age or rarity, it's the story they carry with them. The big worth of the 4 Macutas isn't just about the money, it's about the history behind it. This coin represents an era of imperial dominance, colonial exploitation, and the global trade networks that shaped the modern world. Collecting these coins is a way to hold onto a piece of that history, a way to understand a past that might otherwise remain distant. For serious collectors, owning a 4 Macutas coin isn't just about the financial investment. It's about owning a piece of history, a connection to the era of the Portuguese Empire, and a tangible representation of a time when money was much more than just a medium of exchange. Each coin carries with it the stories of the people who lived through its time. The merchants, the slaves, the soldiers, and the rulers, each one touched the 4 Macutas coin in some way. When you hold one, you're holding a symbol of the global forces that shaped economies, empires, and the world we know today. So, the 4 Macutas of 1784 is not just a coin. It's a gateway to understanding the complex world of the Portuguese Empire, colonial trade, and numismatic history. Whether you're in it for the historical significance, the numismatic value, or the potential investment, this coin is certainly one worth paying attention to. And as the market for rare coins continues to grow, the 4 Macutas may very well become even more valuable in the years to come. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of numismatics to explore one of the most iconic coins in African history, the 1 escudo coin from Angola, minted in 1956. This small piece of currency may seem simple at first glance, but it tells a story of colonialism, change, and the pursuit of economic independence in one of the most dynamic periods of Angola's history. Stick with us as we journey through the past to understand not only its historical significance but also the incredible worth it can hold in today's market. Let's get started. To understand the significance of the 1956 1 escudo coin, we must first step back into the history of Angola. In the mid-20th century, Angola was a Portuguese colony, still under the rule of the European Empire. The coin was minted in this context, and its release is deeply connected to Angola's colonial economy. By 1956, Angola was in the midst of significant political and economic changes. The Portuguese government had controlled Angola for centuries, and the economic systems in place were designed to benefit the colonial rulers. Currency, including the escudo, was tied to Portugal's financial system. The 1 escudo coin, introduced as part of this system, represented the continuation of a long-standing monetary tradition that linked Angola's economy to that of Portugal. Minted in copper nickel, this coin features a simplistic but powerful design. On one side, you'll find the Portuguese coat of arms, a symbol of Portugal's dominion over the colony. On the reverse side, we see a depiction of the national currency system, a simple 1 escudo inscription that identifies the coin's value. For many Angolans at the time, this coin symbolized a colonial system that demanded labor and tribute but provided little in return. The 1 escudo coin was more than just a piece of currency, it was part of a larger system of economic control. Angola was a key exporter of resources like rubber, coffee, and minerals, yet these industries were designed to benefit Portugal, not the local people. The value of the escudo was tightly controlled by the Portuguese government, and local wages remained low, creating a stark contrast between the rich colonial elite and the impoverished Angolan workers. Despite this, many Angolans used the coin to buy goods in local markets, paying for everyday needs with a currency that held little true value in their hands but was integral to the colonial structure. In fact, the continued use of the escudo coins helped the Portuguese colonial administration maintain their influence over Angola's economy. The 1950s marked a period of growing resistance and unrest in Angola. Nationalist movements were starting to form, and Angolans began to push back against Portuguese control. This economic system, reliant on coins like the one escudo, would soon find itself challenged by a wave of political activism and military resistance that would culminate in Angola's independence in 1975. Now, let's take a closer look at the one escudo coin itself. This coin has a diameter of approximately 23 millimeters and weighs about 5.5 grams, with a thickness of around 1.8 millimeters. As mentioned earlier, it's made from copper nickel, which gives it a silvery appearance. The design is both simple and striking. On the obverse, you'll see the Portuguese coat of arms, which includes symbols like the shield, the 5 smaller shields, and the crown. This imagery reinforces Portugal's authority and presence in Angola at the time. On the reverse, we have the denomination 1 escudo with the date of minting, 1956, clearly marked. Despite its humble appearance, the 1 escudo coin has endured as a piece of historical significance. Over the years, its design and material have become iconic of a time when Angola was struggling under Portuguese rule, yet still deeply connected to a larger global system of colonial trade and economics. Now, you may be wondering, how much is the 1956 1 escudo worth today? Well, the value of this coin can vary depending on several factors such as its condition, rarity, and demand from collectors. So, let's break it down. The 1956 1 escudo coin, in average circulation condition, might fetch between $1 to $5. However, this value can change dramatically depending on the quality of the coin. For example, if you manage to find one in mint or uncirculated condition, its price could rise to around $20 to $30 or more. But that's not all. Some rare varieties of this coin, or coins from limited mintages, have been known to fetch even higher prices. Some collectors have paid hundreds of dollars for high-quality specimens or rare versions of the 1956 1 escudo, making it an appealing piece for serious numismatists. Beyond its monetary value, the 1 escudo coin carries a deep cultural and historical significance. It serves as a reminder of the colonial past that shaped the present. The coin represents a time of oppression and resistance, and today, it holds a place in the hearts of many Angolans who fought for their independence. The 1956 1 escudo coin isn't just about its metal or face value. It's a symbol of Angola's resilience and the struggle for independence. It's a tangible link to a time of hardship, but also hope for a better future. Indeed, the coin represents a link to a crucial period in Angola's history, one that continues to shape its national identity today. While the 1 escudo coin is no longer in circulation today, replaced by the kwanza after Angola gained independence in 1975, it remains a lasting testament to a pivotal chapter in the country's history. Collectors continue to seek out this coin, not just for its value, but for its role in telling the story of a nation's fight for freedom, justice, and self-determination. The 1956 1 escudo coin of Angola is much more than just a relic from a colonial past. It's a piece of history, a symbol of resilience, and a fascinating object for collectors and historians alike. Whether you're a numismatist or simply someone interested in the stories behind coins, this little piece of currency offers a window into Angola's turbulent history during the mid-20th century. Thank you for joining us today on this journey through time. If you found this video interesting, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into history, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever encountered a 1 escudo coin? What do you think of its significance in the story of Angola? Let us know. Until next time, happy collecting and exploring history.